All right, Carlos, you're weeks away from stepping on a field as a big league manager for the first time. Been a dream of yours for years, I'm sure. How you feeling right now?
Great. I can't wait. Like you say, as you mentioned, as we get closer here, I'm excited. It's a dream come true to put in a uniform as a big league manager for the first time, and to be able to do it for such a great organization like the New York Mets. It's an honor and a privilege, and I can't wait to get going.
Others have described you as a culture guy, somebody who's going to be strong in building a culture. How do you define what the Mets culture will be, or what you'd like it to be with you as manager?
Yeah, I think the trust for me is going to be huge. Our ability to trust in each other, and in order for us to do that, we have to invest time on ourselves. Get to know people as individuals.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care who you are, but we have to invest time on ourselves. A culture where we respect each other and there's open communication. We treat each other with respect. But I always said that culture is not what you said. Is for me is driven by the people you come in contact with every day, by what you do, how you act, how you interact, and that's basically what we want as an organization to create that type of culture here.
So first day full squad, I imagine like any manager, you'll stand up in front of the group and address them. What's your message going to be? Will it be some of what you just said, or how are you going to tell the guys?
Yeah, I'm still working on it, but yeah, obviously we'll talk about our culture and our goals and all that. But I've been practicing my speech already, It is something that I've been preparing for.
I'll bet.
But yeah, it's exciting, and I'm looking forward to that day.
Speaking of looking forward to things, what excites you about the two newer additions that the Mets have added, Harrison Bader and Sean Manaea?
Yeah, I'll start with Sean, who just announced not too long ago. Excited to have him. Obviously, everybody knows what he did towards the end of last year, but he adds another left-handed pitcher to our rotation, and he had a couple of pitches, and his second half was really, really good. And we are excited to have him on our rotation, and same thing with Bader. Pretty familiar with him for the past year and a half. Elite defender. He's excited to join our team, and he provides a lot, from both sides of the ball. Not only defensively, but this is a guy that can run the bases, and there's a lot more in the tank there for Bader too offensively.
Third base. You go into spring training, Brett Baty's my third baseman. Is it a competition? Is it working? I know you got Joey Wendell, you have Vientos, you have some options. Is Baty the third baseman, or is he one of the third basemen?
Look, that's one of the things that we have options, and we have really good options, And obviously Baty is one of them, but you mentioned Vientos, you got Wendell, and we're going into, let's see what we got here, right? We know what they are capable of. I know they are working really hard in this offseason. A couple of them have been working with Francisco. Mm-hmm. We're getting ready to make a visit and see them before we get to spring training. And we're just excited to have good options. And you mentioned three of them, and we'll see what happens.
Well, we know Francisco Alvarez is going to be catching a lot of games for you. When you look now, and I'm sure you've drilled down deeper since you've taken this job, on the season he had last year, what are the improvements and the progressions in his game that you still want to see, whether it's offensively, defensively, both? What's the next step for him?
Well, look, as a player, especially as a young player, you're always looking for ways to improve. You're always looking for – it's a game of adjustments, right? And Francisco is not different. This is a guy that came up last year and did a hell of a job. Not only catching, but just handling a pitching staff, a veteran pitching staff. And those are some of the things that, he'll continue to work on, that relationship between the pitching staff, himself, working with Omar, and just working on his overall skills, the receiving, the blocking, the throwing. Those are some of the things that we're discussing as a staff as well, and we will have those conversations with Francisco. He's working extremely hard, offensively, same way. There's always room for improvement, but we know the type of player he's capable of, and I think there's a lot to unpack here. Look, every time you come up to the big league as a young player, it's an adjustment.
Yeah.
It's a big transition, and it was not different. And let alone this is a catcher. The day-to-day schedules for the catchers are completely different than your normal position player, where this is a guy that has to prepare. He has to put together a game plan. He's got to talk to a pitching coach. Then he's got to learn about the pitcher he's about to face. So there's a lot that you're asking not only a young player, but let alone a catcher that is playing every day. So you know, he's going to continue to improve, and this is something that, you know, with the coaching staff, we're looking forward to help.
So is that enough of a grilling for you today? Did we cover enough positions?
Yeah, I think.
All right, I think we did too. Thank you, Carlos, for joining us.
Thank you for having us.